Hey, this is Mike from Red Sun Rising, and you're listening to Collision on Voice FM.
Hi, Mike. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. I'm really good.
Yeah.
Can I start by asking, well, like you guys have been together since 2007, but it seems like you've had a few problems with lineups until the last couple of years.
When we were independent, just like a lot of bands, we've gone through a lot of musicians, and as the band progressed and as the band got more serious, not everybody's cut out for that. Not everybody wants to do that as a career. So there's many different reasons why people come and go. But, the last 3 years we've had a very solid lineup. And those are the guys that we carried into this record with. Yeah,
speaking of which, like you said, not everyone's cut out for it. But like you guys, you're not going to be stopping touring for the next few months, and to add to that, you've just been added to the Godsmack Shinedown tour as well.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty expensive several months at this point of straight touring, which we're excited about. We love playing live, so we're definitely excited about that.
Have you guys ever made it to Australia at all?
We would love to. You have to make us famous there so we can come play for you.
Yeah, we'll do our best to do that. Actually, based on what I've heard of the new album, I think that's quite possible. There's a lot of different sounds in it. You're basically a rock band, but then you do have elements of dance as well as elements of metal that you bring into it.
Yeah, that's kind of our mentality with the whole Thread idea, is that we want to encompass all of our influences and all the types of music that we love and just kind of thread it together, make our sound. And that's kind of the essence of what Thread is.
Yeah. Well, have you, as you said, we need to make you famous in Australia, and I haven't heard of you up until now. So can I ask you then, is this a sound that you have been developing all along? Have you grown into, experimenting with the different sounds, or have you always done that?
We've always done that, and I think why we've always done that is because when we first started this band, meaning Ryan and myself, we kind of made a rule that we would not have any rules on the songwriting. Like, we would never write a song just for a genre. We were only going to write songs that we loved and we believed in. And no matter what that sounded like or what genre people wanted to put that in, it didn't matter to us. We were just going to write songs that we loved. And sometimes it comes out heavy and sometimes it comes out light, but it doesn't matter. It's just whatever feels right at the time. It's kind of a thing that we've always done. And and this latest record, we took even more risks than we did on the debut album. But if you go back and listen to our independent material, we've been taking risks our whole lives. So it's nothing new for us.
So the Making of Kings was actually your debut album?
Not really, because we only released that independently. Not a lot of people know what that is. So we recorded that. I was only 20 years old when we recorded that.
Right.
So, it was something we produced ourselves, we paid for ourselves, and we just put it on the internet. So it's not really a release. And the fact that you found it is actually amazing to me, and I'm glad you did, because we're still proud of those songs. But yeah, we don't consider that a debut album because not too many people know it even exists.
Right. Well, if you said you're only 20 when you released that means you were only 16 when you even started this band.
Yeah, so I started this band when I was, it probably would have been when I was actually 17.
Right.
When we were kind of starting to jam together, me and Ryan.
So can I ask then, you guys were obviously school friends or something, but what got you into music?
Well, it's kind of funny because Ryan and I went to the same high school, but we did not know each other. He was older than me, but we had some mutual friends. I've always loved music. I was in a band in high school, and my mother was always playing her piano at our house, and always had piano in the house, or always had music in the house. So at a young age, I started to just love music in general, and I started a high school band, and I met Ryan right before I started college, and some mutual friends we actually met at a gas station of all places, and we just randomly started talking about music, and he found out that I played guitar, he played guitar, and we just started jamming, and out of that came Red Sun Rising.
Right. And obviously you guys, as we said, you're flat out the rest of the year, you're basically touring the whole year, so this is a full-time thing for you guys now.
Yeah, there was a lot of years where, we had jobs in school and just normal lives to be able to make the music work. And I don't regret any of those times. You know, the real late nights. I mean, there would be times where I would work all day and then go into a studio to record like those albums like Making a King. You know, we would have to take the night shift because those are the hours in the studio that nobody wanted, so we can get them real cheap or sometimes free. So we would spend all night in a studio after working all day, and it was exhausting, but we loved it so much. And there was years and years of that until we finally got the opportunity to be signed to a label and be able to make this a career and just focus on the music. And that was a huge turning point for us.
Awesome. Well, it sounds like it's your true passion. So I'm assuming there was no actual backup plan of a career.
No, there wasn't. I mean, like I said, I was going to college, but I didn't finish because of the fact that the band started doing better, and that's all I could think about. And I'm glad I did. You know, and even if this was all over tomorrow, which it very well could end all tomorrow, I wouldn't regret any day of any decision that I've made, because I know that every day up until now, I've lived every day that I could the way I wanted to.
Well, by the sounds of things, I very much doubt that this would all be over tomorrow. Even if this band was over tomorrow, I don't see that you wouldn't be involved in music, because it sounds like you live and breathe it.
Right.
Yeah. So you played guitar, but did you always want to sing and write?
You know, that kind of changed over time. When I was in my high school band, you know, I only sang because I could sing the best of the four of us. But it wasn't because I thought I was a singer. It was just like, yeah, we're in a rock band and I guess I can sing. So it kind of started like that. I wasn't like, I'm going to be a singer. I was like, I didn't care about that. I just wanted to play guitar and, you know, just rock out. And I just happened to be the singer. And I didn't really start taking singing serious until we started Red Sun Rising. I was like, maybe I should really focus on this. And I've always been intrigued more of the songwriting than anything. You know, I'm a huge Beatles fan, and I love just vocal harmony and melody. So when I write a song, I sit down with an acoustic guitar or a piano, and I write the melody first, and then the words typically. Because to me, that's what music is melody. You know, if the words were, you know, we want to have something to say with our lyrics, obviously. But the melody, to me, is the first step to making a song. Because if the words were really that important, we would be all on spoken word tours. We wouldn't be playing music.
Yeah, definitely. And well, then, when you decided to take the singing seriously, I'm wondering if you've had singing lessons, because you have an awesome rock voice.
Oh, thank you. No, I've had mentors over the years, different singers that just gave me tips here and there, and I was just like a sponge. Anytime someone gave me some tips or some advice about singing or how to breathe, you know, I took that in and I applied it, and just naturally over the course of years of practicing it, you know, I just got better. And, you know, it's still a work in progress. There's still things that I work on and I want to be better at. But as far as formal lessons, no, I've never had any formal training.
Right. And well, you do have the single Death Wish out from the album Thread. And I'm wondering, the video making process, are you enjoying that side of it as well?
Yes, we love the video part of it. The cool thing about that video in particular is we worked with a director that specializes more in short films. So he's very good at creating a narrative and getting very artistic shots. And that's what we wanted, because we wanted it to be like a short film and have that narrative and have that storyline and be a little bit more artistic than just a standard, you know, music video that you would typically see. So, you know, I like the darkness of it, and I like that it can be open to interpretation. There's some elements of it that are very direct, but the lyrics, just because we use the apocalypse in a way as an example with the video, that's not really what the lyrics mean. I mean, the video is the apocalypse in a worldly sense, but the lyrics are more of an apocalypse of the human sense of an actual person. So, you know, it was interesting to create that concept, and I think the director did a great job bringing our idea to life.
Yeah, and can I ask then, what you do write about the lyrics, is that personal experience or is it observation?
It's a little bit of both, but we've never written a lyric that we didn't believe in or wasn't from something that we didn't want to say. You know, we never just throw lyrics in because they sound good. You know, we always make sure, that's one thing with our band, that we always sit down, and it's usually Ryan and myself. We sit down with the lyrics and we talk about the concept of the song, and then we make the lyrics out of that, because we don't want to throw generic lyrics in there. And I think that's what's wrong with a lot of music, a lot of popular music today. I think there's no soul to it. There's no story to it. It's just words. and we don't want it to be that way.
And looking at the track listing, I mean, there isn't a track on there called Thread, so the title Thread, is that something to do with a thread running through the album?
Yeah, the title of the record, I mean, I think when we got to the second record, which is Thread, I think it was just appropriate to call it Thread because we had been kind of using Thread to represent our sound, you know, for the whole time up until this point. So we're like, why don't we just call the album Thread? Because that's what it is. That's what this music is. It's, you know, we're not just a rock band. We're not just an alternative band or a metal band. We're all of those things. We're just a band, and we call this music Thread. Here it is.
Yeah, awesome. And you're a band that I think not only are going to be getting a lot better known in Australia, but obviously over in America as well with this Godsmack tour. But I saw that you did a tour with the U's too, who are my favourite band in the world. So
I love them.
Yeah. I'm just wondering, like, in the time that you have been a band and in the music industry so far, because I know you've got a lot ahead of you, but what has been the most, like, pinch me moment that you've had?
I think the biggest pinch me moment for me was, I mean, it always changes. So, you know, at first it was like, you know, even back, you know, when we were younger and we were like, oh, we get to finally play this opening for this big show at the House of Blues or something in Cleveland. That was a big deal for us. And then we go to the next thing, like, well, oh, we get this festival. That's an awesome thing. Then we got to go to Europe, and that was a pinch me moment. And then we got to go to Russia, and we started to go to these different places and play these different festivals. So I think at every level of success, there's that new pinch me moment. And, you know, I'm just so looking forward to that next pinch me moment. And I think that keeps the band driven, and that keeps the band wanting to do more, is to have that natural high that you can't fabricate.
Yeah, well, hopefully in the very near, actually, it probably won't be this year. You haven't got room, but hopefully 2019 will see you pinching yourself because you're coming to Australia for the first time.
Oh, we would absolutely love that.
Yeah.
I actually have some cousins in Australia that I've never met. And so I want to go over there not only to play music, but to meet some of my family members that I've never met, which would be very cool.
Awesome. Family connection. That's really cool. And I'm going to have to wrap it up because I'm sure you've got other interviews. I'd love to talk to you longer. But I will say the album Thread is out on the 30th of March and you can go and pre-order that now. You can find more about Red Sun Rising at redsunrisingmusic.com, and you are Red Sun Rising Music on Facebook as well. And I definitely recommend rock fans go and check this album out because it's a pretty eclectic and awesome rock album. I think people are going to be very satisfied with it. Is there something you'd quickly like to say to your possible new fans in Australia about the album?
I would say we encourage people to listen to it, and even though it's our personal experiences, I think we left it open enough that you could apply it to something in your life, and we encourage that, and to find your own meaning in our songs, and that's the beauty of art, is that it can transcend that way.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. It has been great talking to you, and I look forward to having a chat when you announce your Australian tour.
Absolutely. Talk to you then.
Have a good day.
You as well.
Bye. Bye.